front, that would be great if you can.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah, like the first row or second row.
It's gonna be a lot more conversation, so it'll just make it so that we don't all have to get a little.
Thank you so much for, it makes us feel it's closer, feel closer.
No, I can't.
Are you sure? I'm just moving forward if you don't need them. Just me. Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yes.
Alright, perfect. Did you guys make it through the rainy tour? Anybody get down for it not too bad? Yeah?
You did.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, we're, sorry about the weather, but super glad that you guys made it to campus.
Yeah.
My name is Brittany Monasterio, and I'm one of our admissions counselors here. So I work with mostly students from Illinois. Do we have anyone from Illinois here today? All right, very good. So I graduated from here in 2013, so I've been working in admissions for about 4 years now. Studied leadership and psychology here as a student, and just finished up my master's in organizational leadership as well. So really excited to kind of get to know you guys a little bit more today, help you maybe figure out a little bit more of what you're looking for in a school or what you're passionate about. And I'll let you introduce yourself.
Yeah, my name is Maria Mela, and I work with students from Northern Ohio and the East Coast of the U.S. We're admissions counselors. We have the same kind of basic information, and we can help everybody with the admissions process. However, we focus on some areas, and my area is Northern Ohio and the East Coast of the United States.
Awesome. So, want to get to know a little bit about you guys today. So, love to kind of go around. If you want to tell us your name, what year you are in school, who you have with you today. I know names are really important to us, so definitely tell us who's here with you. And then, let's see. Tell us what your favorite ice cream flavor is. I know it's summer, so that's always really fun. So, all right. Would you like to start us off from the back? We'll go kind of backwards than usual.
My name's Erin, and I'll be a senior this year.
Okay.
And this is my mom, Sheila, and my favorite ice cream flavor is probably mint chocolate chip.
Solid choice there. And where are you from?
Bluffton.
Okay. Fantastic. Great to have you guys here.
My name is Max. I'm from Wheaton, Illinois. This is my mom, Dana. I'm going to be a senior, and my favorite ice cream flavor is anything dairy-free. So dairy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're thinking maybe something like some sorbets and stuff like that. Solid.
I'm Emily. I'm from Worcester, Ohio. I have my mom, Chris, here. And my favorite ice cream flavor is probably strawberry. Rhino really loves the strawberry.
Yeah, what year in school are you?
Oh, sorry. I'll be a senior.
Okay, perfect. All right, would you like to go first?
I'm Emma. I've got my mom, Sarah. I'm gonna be a senior, and I probably like black raspberry
Graders.
Wow, you have a
There you
specific
go.
place already.
Yeah.
Where are you from?
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect.
I'm Hannah. I brought my aunt Amanda, my mom Paula, and my sister Sarah. I'm going to be a junior.
Okay.
Just high school, so I work with issues and grade. And my favorite flavor is probably just chocolate.
Okay. Do you have a favorite ice cream?
Chocolate.
Chocolate. All right, got chocolate family over here. Chocolate family.
What is your favorite ice cream flavor, Brittany?
I think I'd have to go with Moose Tracks. It's got a little bit of everything in there, so layered, chocolate and peanut butter.
I like strawberries for the record. I like the strawberry ice cream with the chunks of strawberry in it. I had a shake.
Got some
Strawberry
kindred
shake.
spirits over here.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Perfect. Well, just to kind of let you guys know a little bit about what we're going to be doing this morning. One, I know that it's always fun to get started with little icebreaker questions, but that's kind of going to be a theme that you're going to see through this morning. Kind of the whole purpose of our workshop, this is going to be something very different than anything that you've seen on a college visit probably so far. But we really want to ask you guys some life-changing questions, especially at this stage of your life. You know, things that we really feel are incredibly important as you're trying to figure out your way into this next stage and what's important to you and what you're looking for. So hopefully by asking some life-changing questions, you guys are going to be able to maybe pause for a minute, reflect on some of those things, and hopefully by the end maybe have a little bit of a better picture of maybe some next steps that you guys want to take or things you want to dive into a little bit more. And really just kind of, you know, continue moving forward in your college search as of where you're at right now. Does that sound good? All right.
All right, so before we move into the meat of the presentation, you all received a folder today, and I just kind of want to go over what you have inside there really quickly. You have your profile sheet, which if you have not, give it back to Megan. I suggest that you do that. That sheet has like your general information and test scores and things like that. You probably already gave it to the prom desk, which is cool. You also have coupons for Macon Coffee and the bookstore. There's a percentage off. I'm not sure what the summer schedule for each of those are, but I believe that they should be open around the lunchtime. You also have your schedule. The Wildcat Pride paper that states the activities that we have planned for you today. If there is something that you would like to accomplish today that is not on your schedule, you can text that number 765-444-2448 and we will try to make it happen for you. Like if you want to meet the financial aid or meet with an admissions counselor one-on-one, or maybe look at a building or see a particular department, just let us know and we will try our best to make it happen for you. Also, I believe that you have got your t-shirts today. Cool, so I don't have to go over that. You already got it. Awesome, so that's pretty much what you have inside of your folders. You also have some general information, general education requirements information, and a book that gives you general information about the school. There's also information about the admissions process, financial aid, and all that stuff. We'll kind of go over some of those things later today, but know that you have those in your folders. Do you have any questions about anything inside of your folder? Or okay, great, thank you. Before we move forward, I have a question for you. And that is, what is your passion? You don't have to answer it right now. We'll get into it a little later. But start thinking, what is your passion? What makes you smile? What gives you energy? Think about that. Does it have to be something big, or it doesn't have to be anything specifically. It could be anything. But what is that thing or those things that make you smile, that make you giggle, that give you energy? Think about that, and we'll talk about that a little later.
All right, so before we kind of dive into that, give you guys a minute to sort of think about that question. You know, the main reason why you guys are here today is because you're checking out campus, right? So, you know, how many of you guys, you all got to go on the tour? Anything kind of stick out to you guys that you enjoyed or liked? And disliked was probably the rain, you know? But anything, any buildings or anything like that that kind of stuck out to you?
The student center was like absolutely breathtaking.
Yeah. Student center? It's usually like a huge favorite. Student center, chapel, res halls. You know, those are usually some of the top three, but for sure. And it's awesome to kind of, you know, be able to see with your eyes campus as opposed to just flipping through pictures online, you know. But really what I kind of want to talk about just for a second is what's behind the buildings. You know, what is at the heart of why we are, like why we exist and why we do what we do. So best way that I can help kind of explain that is by kind of talking about our mission statement a little bit. You know, every organization that you're going to see or come in contact with is going to probably have some type of mission statement or vision for what they want to accomplish. And this is ours, and we really try to stick really closely to this. So it says that Indiana Wesleyan University is a Christ-centered academic community committed to changing the world by developing students in 3 different things: character, scholarship, and leadership. So it's one thing for us as an institution to be able to teach you and give you a degree once you're finished. Awesome. If we just do that, in my opinion, we're not doing a very good job, and we're not doing our jobs. Because, you know, we want you to be able to leave here after your 4 years being a person of character, having grown spiritually, emotionally, professionally, academically, in all different areas. And so to be able to help best prepare you and equip you for the calling that God has for you, that's really what we're trying to do as a school. So, equipping you guys for that calling and helping you figure out what area of the world, how God has intentionally made each of you to go out and actually make a difference. That's why we do what we do. So just kind of want to keep that in mind. As we kind of go through the workshop a little bit, we're going to dive into some of these things and why they matter to us and why hopefully they should matter to you guys in your college search. But that's why we exist. We are here to serve you and to help build you guys up so that you can go out and build others up too.
So, what is your passion? Anyone wants to share?
Get us started. All right.
My passion is to help people and make them smile just because it makes me feel better.
Mm-hmm. Do you like doing that in any specific ways? Are there any avenues you like to do that?
I'm looking into nursing, so.
Okay,
I'm sure-
awesome. Absolutely.
Great,
Thanks for sharing.
thank you. Would you like to share what your passion
So,
is?
I wanted to do nursing too as well.
Okay.
I'd say kind of the same thing. I have a smaller friend group, so I just like spending quality time with them. I like to travel a lot. I like cutting things. Not this here.
So quality time, relationships, traveling.
Great. Thank you.
Emily, would you like to go first?
Oh,
Oh, are you going the other way?
it's okay.
All
You
right.
can do it.
Snaking back around.
I think just, like what she said, just any way possible that can make people smile. I do volunteer for hospice, so I go and visit older people and I love just making them smile. And I just got done counseling for a week at a camp and I'll be going back next week. So I love making the younger kids smile. But I think I also like, I'm looking into physical therapy, and that's just my dream job to do pediatric physical therapy. Making them stronger and just giving a little, just kids their life back almost. But I don't mean it in that way that I don't know, I don't mean that in an offensive way,
No.
but, helping them do the everyday things that we always do.
Kind of like things that we get to take for granted all the time.
exactly. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'd say I'm really passionate about music and worship. I just think it's a fantastic way to just really connect with God on a more intimate level, and something that strikes me.
I really love to make a difference in people's lives, and my mom and I are involved in foster care, so I absolutely love it.
When you say a difference in people's life, what do you mean?
I mean, if they're going through a hard time and they really don't have anyone there, I like to be there for them,
Okay.
or open new ways for them to see things, and just having someone there.
Great. Absolutely. Well, thank you. Thank you all for sharing. Brittany, can you? Yep. T.D. Jakes said that if you can figure out your purpose and figure out your passions, for your passions will lead you right into your purpose. Those passions that you mentioned are not going to necessarily tell you what you're going to do for the rest of your life, or what major, what career you're going into, or anything like that. But it will definitely inform and enhance what you are going to do for the rest of your life. So it is very important to take a look at yourself, to take a look at what do you like, because there is a reason why God put that in you. I can tell you about my daughter who is a sophomore in high school. Wow, she's going to be a junior, Jesus. She is, I asked her, what's your passion? I gave her the presentation, I gave it to her, and she told me that she liked watching cartoons and superheroes, Arrow, Flash, stuff like that. I'm like, well, maybe you can become a writer and create your own superheroes. She's like, but I do not like writing. I'm like, oh my God, what can you do with superheroes? What, can you tell me another passion? Well, I asked her, what do you like about superheroes? What is it that you like about it? She told me, well, I like that they use their superpowers to help people who are in trouble and bring them to safety. And I'm like, huh. So long conversation, she decided that she wants to get into psychology because she wants to help people, bring people out from trouble into safety. So if you see, like, if you look at your passions, they can kind of guide you and tell you exactly the core of who you are and what God has called you to do and be. But we'll talk about that later.
So, how many of you guys have been asked already, just by show of hands, what you want to major in? Okay. Everybody, this is probably just, future, just a little like hint here. You're gonna get this question hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times. We've joked around about making t-shirts even now of like, hi, like my name is Brittany, this is what I major in, this is what school I went to. So know that question's coming a lot. It's a very, very common one. And I know that you guys, some of you had kind of mentioned a couple majors. I know we got a couple nursing up here. Physical therapy is kind of what you're thinking of. How about you guys? What kind of majors are you thinking?
Elementary education.
Okay.
I don't know, yeah, I'd like to do something music related, I don't know. It's gonna be like education or ministry or whatever that's gonna be, but yeah. It's gonna be related to that.
Yeah. Do you guys feel like most of you have known for a really long time what you wanted to do? Or some of you kind of still thinking about it, working on it, maybe have some ideas? Okay. I know for me, I didn't even realize kind of coming in, how many different majors there were. Has anyone asked you guys what careers you want to go into? Did I show hands? Just a couple? All right, fewer hands. Fewer people get asked what kind of careers they want to go into. Sometimes it's kind of funny to even think that there are so many multiple career options even in one given major. So even if you want to go into something like nursing or physical therapy, even the demographic of people that you're going to work with, whether that is what unit on the hospital or even kind of for you like working with pediatrics or geriatrics, what kind of people. You could be in the States, you could be overseas, there are so many, different paths that even, majors like that, which are a lot more career paths, that you can go. But even in something like, psychology, oh my goodness, there are so many different paths that you can go with that. And so for me, I know when I was sitting in kind of, your guys' shoes, I had no idea what I wanted to do. I came in and I was really nervous, feeling like I had to pick something. I'm like, all right, well, pre-med could be fun. Leadership sounds really interesting. Psychology, I feel like I could do. Communications, business. I literally was all over the board. And a lot of times that's how most people are. It takes you a little bit to figure out your niche, to be able to actually think through some of these questions of, who has God made you to be? What has He, called you to do? What are you passionate about? And so for me, what I decided to do is I decided to take a semester and come in pre-declared. So it's our version of undecided, if that makes sense. Which for us here is actually our second top program that freshmen come in with, behind nursing. So nursing is our biggest program across the board, but just as many almost students, and even more than that, actually come in without a major. Why? One thing that we do specifically and very intentionally is helping you guys take a step back for a minute, and rather than boxing yourself into something that you might be interested in, really figure out who God's made you to be. We have you sit through, kind of work through a class that really helps you figure out things that you value, really helps you decide on, directions and areas that might interest you. You take a bunch of different strengths assessments as well and kind of see, all right, I have certain giftings in certain areas, and how do I see those played out in my life? And, you'll start to kind of dig into all of that. And so that's what I did freshman year, and I decided, after my first semester, I had taken a couple gateway classes during that time, and really felt that psychology and leadership, those were the majors for me. And I felt really good about it because I was still right on track. I had a lot more clarity about who God had made me to be, and I was really, really confident and really enjoying what I was studying. But sometimes, this idea, I'm just gonna pop this question up now because we'll talk about it. This idea of what God has called you to do with your life doesn't always come right away. That might not come within this next year and a half, 2 years while you guys are still in high school. It might not come in your first semester of college. It might take a little while. But that doesn't mean that God's not going to continue to help, you move one foot in front of the other towards whatever that is. So for me, if you would have asked me what I was passionate about when I was a senior in high school, I probably would have taken the cop-out answer and said softball. Okay, cool. This is something like a sport that I had played my entire life competitively. I really enjoyed playing the game. I loved being on a team. But one thing that I realized my senior year, I played for a very small Christian school outside of my club. So I actually that year got to be on a team with all underclassmen that had never played before because they were trying to build a program at our school. So for most people who are really good at something, it would be a very frustrating experience to play with people who have never picked up a bat before or thrown a ball before, right? That was actually one of my favorite years of playing the game because the girls that I got to play alongside of were actually girls that I was mentoring and a small group leader for outside and off the field. So I really kind of learned during that time like how much I loved coaching people, how much I loved mentoring people, and that was something that really continued into college. So for me, I decided to, have a clean slate once I came into college, put the bat and the glove down and actually focus on some other things. And so I did a career development internship when I was a junior and a senior, both years, and got to really work with people, helping them figure out what their strengths were and what they wanted to do, and working on resumes and cover letters and doing a little career coaching with them too. And it was during that time that it kind of dawned on me as I was working with some of my supervisors and learning how to help students really recognize what strengths they use in their life, that God had really started developing the things that I was good at way long before I had even realized it. And it kind of dawned on me too that I picked two of the broadest majors that we even offer here: leadership and psychology. What on earth are you going to do with those? Work with people? Yes. And so for me, I kind of had this wake up moment of, wow, like sometimes calling doesn't necessarily come in the form of a major. Calling for me really came into this understanding that regardless of what career I was in, regardless of what job I had, regardless of what people I was interacting with, this idea of helping them get from point A to point B, helping them see their value and the strengths and the potential that they have, that's my calling. That's something I want to do, and that's something, thankfully, that I get to do every day with students. And so, as you kind of think about, this question here, I would really challenge you, as you're going into your senior year or your junior year, be asking yourself, what is it that God has called you to do? Because your answer might actually look a little bit deeper than a major. And here we believe that each one of you guys has a life calling and has purpose. And so if we can help kind of draw that out from you so that you can go out and actually really develop that and use that, that's really kind of, like I said, like what our heart and purpose is here at IWU. So, like I said, be thinking about these things. I know we're throwing lots of questions and lots of, things that, you may have never been asked. Has anyone been asked this before? Yeah. I wish that someone would have asked me that in high school.
Yeah.
It changes sometimes the direction you want to go with your life and kind of the purpose and meaning behind, even going to college. you know, rather than it just being something that everybody does, you know, using it as somewhere to get you to where God wants you to go.
And one of my favorite things about the school is that we have the School of Life calling on campus, and they can actually help you figure out who is it that God called you to be. We understand that you are the expert of your own life. God has given you talents and strengths. We're just here to equip you and help you discover that and develop those things. We have the pre-declare class that semester that Brittany talked about. We can actually help you through different assessments, figure out what does that look like for you, so that you can build upon that and get going and be successful, not just with just a college degree, with like a piece of paper, but with actually knowing who you are supposed to be for the rest of your life while you're here. That's one of my favorite things. I went to college when I graduated high school because that's what you're supposed to do and what the expectation was, but I really didn't know what I wanted to do or what strengths I had. If I would have had that guidance, then I would have saved so much time and so much money. It took me 7 years to get a 4-year degree because I didn't know what I wanted to do. So that's a powerful thing. And going back to our mission statement, one of the first things that we want to help you develop is your character. When you think of character, what qualities come to your mind? When you think of a person of character, what does that person look like? What qualities?
And anybody can answer.
Yeah, you can answer.
Respectful.
Honorable, respectful, yes, absolutely. What did you say? Down to earth. What other qualities come to mind?
Person of integrity.
Person of integrity, humbleness, absolutely. Sincerity, right, trustworthiness, all of those good things, that's what a person of character looks like. And those are the things that we want to help you develop here while you're on campus. We have chapel 3 times per week, and that's one of the ways that we try to equip you with those things. And we are centered in one person who has all of the awesome, great qualities, and that person is Christ, right? We are a Christ-centered institution, and we want to help you and equip you and empower you to be like Christ, and have all of those great qualities, so that whatever degree you end up getting, you can actually carry it with your character. How many people have knowledge and have degrees, but they don't have the character to be effective and to influence their world? Well, we want you to graduate, when you graduate from Indiana Wesleyan, to have much more than a college degree, because you can get that at the different institutions, right? Let's be real. But character is what is going to help you be successful and be effective and be a person who glorifies God, and who can make a difference in the world that they're in. So character is one of those first things that we want to help you develop. And we have prayer in the classroom. And we have a faculty-student ratio of 1 to 14, so you'll be able to build a relationship with your professor and have mentors and have people who are going to build you up and teach you and equip you with the good things that you should learn, that you should have in order to be successful in life.
And a lot of that sometimes too, I know for me, like when I started off my college search, like I said, I went to a small Christian school and I figured, oh, this is my time to be with lots of people and, you know, branch out, go to a big school. And it took me a minute to realize, one, that didn't really like gel with who I am and how I've lived my life for the past, 18 years. But more than that, this idea of who do I want to be kind of trumped all that. Sometimes the environment that you're going to be in for college is going to have a huge influence on who you end up being for the rest of your life. And what people you surround yourself with, what environment you surround yourself with is really going to inform that too. And so as you guys are kind of like searching out schools, going on different visits, just be mindful of that as well. Take a step back and see like if you could see yourself here, if whatever, you guys end up kind of visiting, like, is this a place that is going to help you be the best person that you want to be, that God's asked you to be, So just thinking about that, for me, I almost made bad life choices in colleges that I went to because I figured, oh, I just want to have a different environment than what I'm used to. But I can say without a shadow of a doubt, I'm so glad that I ended up here and that I had people like intentionally pouring into me and helping me become a person of character. Anyone remember that second word? So character. Scholarship. Yep.
Yay.
Very good. You guys are paying attention. This is great. So when you hear the word scholarship, what is the first thing that pops into your mind? Money. Absolutely. You know, nowadays we kind of equate this word of scholarship with money. But if you actually look it up in the dictionary, what the word scholarship means is this idea of higher learning. So think 7, 8 years down the road. You know, you guys have graduated from college, you are in your first job. How many of you guys want to feel like you are equipped and are becoming an expert in your field? Yeah. Like I would hope for my nursing friends here that you guys would feel really, really good and confident, you know? And helping you become the best, whatever that is, physical therapist, maybe worship leader, teacher, nurse. You know, understanding an academic community and what that's going to do for you and helping you become the best, whatever you can be, you fill in the blank. You know, that's important. And especially as you guys are starting off your college search, you know, it's really good to think about what do I need in order to become the best, whatever I can be. So this is for anybody who wants to answer, but what are some of those things that help you guys learn best or that you feel like you're going to need from an academic program that are going to help you actually be successful in what you want to study? Relationships. How many of you guys like having access to like your teachers or professors if you have questions or just want to talk? Yeah, literally everybody. You know, so, and that's a huge thing. You know, some colleges, you're going to be in class, you know, have maybe a lecture class with like 200, 300 people. Here, that might look like 20, 30, 10. You know, people know your name. They know your story. And to be able to even say like, hey, you know, professor, whatever, like, I didn't really quite understand like what we were talking about in class. You know, the majority of the times you're going to find them, you know, not just like during office hours, but, you know, a lot of them telling you, hey, like, let's go grab Macan at the coffee shop and grab a cup of coffee and let's talk about maybe what you're not understanding, or, you know, especially what I appreciated most was the times where people just got, you know, my professors, my mentors, they just got lunch with me. You know, they wanted to know as much about my story as, you know, the people who were living in my hall. And for me, that was really important because that one made me feel like I could ask things in class. You know, having that personal relationship with your professors. I mean, like I said, I went to a small school and I didn't really even totally find that until I was in college. So that's definitely a really cool thing. What else? What else do you guys feel like you need to help be successful? Or for parents, what do you guys think that your students need more to be?
Hands-on learning.
That's a big one. How many of you guys learn well and better when you're actually doing things? Okay, again, unanimous. You know, and that's a huge part about college. You know, each of you are going to be studying different things specifically, and, you know, it's kind of hard if you're going to be a nurse and you only have ever looked at a book before for me to feel confident for you giving me a shot, you know? Like, it's, I mean, one of those things where, like, yes, like, there will be times where you're going to be in the classroom, but a lot of this is really getting out there and helping you guys figure out what you're good at and actually using that sooner. So, like, for education, you know, you guys are going to start working with students your freshman year and start practicum your sophomore year. So sophomore, junior, senior year, you're in the classroom. You know, nursing majors, you guys are working in the patient care lab, and your freshman year, and you're gonna get to start clinical sophomore year. So sophomore, junior, and senior year, you're in the hospitals. You know, so regardless of like what major you're looking at, if that's PT, exercise science, you know, if it, you know, whatever that might end up looking like for you, if it's something music related, if you are doing different performances, if you are collaborating with your professors to do different pieces, you know, whatever that might look like, you guys are actually getting to do that. And that's the best way to teach you and to help you guys learn. So that's just something I'd, you know, continue to encourage you guys as well as you're kind of going through, to ask yourself what you need. You know, and if you know what you need, then you can ask different schools as you kind of go about, what do you have? How can we like pair up here? And is this a good fit for helping me kind of feel, you know, like I can be an expert once I graduate, and competent, and feeling really good about kind of moving forward on your own after school.
Remember that third word? Leadership. When you think of leadership, what do you think? What comes to mind? What does a leader look like to you?
Confident.
Confident? Role model. Have you ever been under not so good leadership? How does that feel? It's kind of disempowering, right? Kind of frustrating. Doesn't make you want to be your best, right? But how many of you have been under good leadership? How does that feel? How does that feel?
Feels really encouraging.
Encouraging, absolutely. Yeah. It empowers you, makes you want to be your best, right? We talked about character, who you are. Leadership, I kind of like to see it as how you behave. John Maxwell said that leadership is influence. So pretty much is empowering others, pushing others to become their best. And with a strong character and effective and an expert in the area and effective leadership skills, wow, the sky is the limit for you. So we want to help you become the best leader that you can be. A leader like Christ was, a servant leader, through community involvement, through empowerment of mentors, through different things that are going to help you become that person who is not in front telling others what to do, which is the traditional, I guess, concept of a leader, but actually being the person behind the group of people, pushing them to be the best that they can be. And being an expert in your area, a person of character who can influence others so that you don't have to like tell them what to do. They want to do the best. They want to be the best. So leadership is not just a position that you hold of authority or whatever it is. It's actually being next to somebody, not in front of somebody, but next to somebody, encouraging that person and empowering the person to be their best. Being a servant, isn't that what Christ did? He was never in front of us. He was encouraging us to do great things. And he said himself that greater things we were going to do. So he was not trying to pretend to be the best, although he was the best. I mean, he could, say, hey, I'm the son of God. I have it going on. But he didn't. He actually empowered his disciples to be the best that they could be. And we want you to be the best that you could be. And we want you to be servant leaders who change your community and change your world. Your t-shirts say the world is waiting. Not necessarily the geographical world is waiting, although yes, that might be true. But your friends, your family, your community, the place of your employment is waiting for you to show your character, to be that trustworthy, that humble, that person of integrity who can influence the department, whatever you're in charge, to be the best that they can be. And leadership is so powerful, so strong, that you're not just influencing somebody to be the best that they can be at their jobs, but to be the best that they can be, that they can be as a person. I love that you said that you like to help people and make their lives feel better and making them smile. And when you think about somebody, making somebody smile, you might think about a joke or a clown or something like that. But you actually said something alluding to improving their lives, and that would make them happy. So when you are an effective leader, you are actually improving the lives of other people, therefore making them more effective, and they want to be empowered, they want to be alive, and they want to do things because you are that person pushing them. Who knows, who has the scholarship necessary, who has the strong character necessary, and the awesome behavior to just help them be the best that they can be. Pretty much, we want you here in Ghana Western for you to be not just a person who has a degree, but a person who has a strong character, who has excellent scholarship, and who has great leadership skills. And like I said before, the sky is the limit, and you can be so successful in whatever area God leads you to be. It's about you. It's about you being who God created you to be, and that's when you're going to be truly successful and truly effective.
So Nelson Mandela had a really good quote that I want to share with you guys this morning. He said that action without vision is only passing time. Vision without action is merely daydreaming. But vision with action can change the world. You know, it's one thing, even for us here, to talk about our strengths all day, or to talk about our calling, and not be able to actually go out there. You know, you have to have both. And so for us, you know, we wanted to make sure that this time with you guys was not just encouraging to you, or hopefully helping you kind of think through some of those questions, but to also give you opportunity to put that into action as well. So Marianella is going to pass each one of you out a card, and these are for you guys to keep, write down whatever you want. Really what I would like you guys to spend a couple minutes doing is just to think through maybe just where you're at in your college search. You know, if there is maybe a question on here that resonated with you, or maybe a major that you want to explore a little more, or someone that you feel like you might want to job shadow, or parents, I mean, maybe there are things that you feel like you'd like to do to help your student during this time. You know, this is just an opportunity for you individually to just take a second, reflect, pause, and maybe come up with some steps or some ways that you guys kind of want to move forward from here. So we'll take a couple minutes for that, and then kind of finish up with some more kind of next step things.
Can you say one more time what's supposed to go on these cards?
I know, it's like,
okay.
Yeah, that's a good question. I'm glad you asked. So basically, this is kind of your time to like write down something that maybe resonated with you. You know, maybe there was a question on there, or maybe a next step that you've been thinking you might want to do. You know, students that might be, you know, diving into a major or a career field that looks interesting to you, or job shadowing someone. Or for parents, maybe there are certain things that you want to do to help encourage your student through this process. You know, this is kind of your time to write down whatever kind of meshes with you, resonates with you guys, so that we can help kind of put this into practice and help you guys move forward. I feel like sometimes that's the best way that we can help serve you guys as well.
Sure. Broadcasting is a part of our communications division, so they would probably have information just with the communications. Have you looked online at our website yet? Mm-hmm. Yeah, let me go check and see if we have anything that we can mail to you Okay. We do have an online program if that's something that you're more interested in. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of different options. Why don't I actually transfer you back to someone in our call center that can answer a lot more of your questions and see if they can find some information to send to you. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I know a couple of you guys are finishing up, so feel free to do that. We're just gonna go really quick over a couple papers that are in your packet. I know these are sometimes, some of the most confusing next steps, I'd say, and most, frequently asked questions and things. So we wanna make sure that we kind of cover those a little bit with you as well.
You will see pretty much the admissions process on a sheet. It's right here. There are 7 steps, and as you complete them, you can kind of cross them off, and that will help you through the admissions process. The first thing is to complete the online application on our website. Most of you, I think all of you has your junior year, right?
Going into Yep.
Going into junior, I'm sorry.
Yep.
Okay, so the summer between your junior and your senior year, that's when you can submit your application. And it is, you can go on our website, it is free, and there is no essay requirement. So, and it's a very short application, it's about 5-10 minutes, so it's not a long thing. An application is considered complete once step 2 is completed. Can I talk today? We need your high school transcript and your test scores, SAT or ACT. If you have taken both, we'll take both. But once we have your online application and your high school transcript and test scores, then we can go ahead and review your application. And the review of application starts in September of your senior year. One thing to keep in mind for ACT, we're looking at an 18 ACT composite score, that's the minimum requirement. 960 SAT, reading and math portions only, and 2.6 GPA. If you meet those minimum requirements, then you do not need to complete step 4. So you can kind of scratch that off. If you have those numbers, step 4 you do not need to complete. We will only need an essay and recommendation forms if you don't have an 18 or a 960 or a 2.6. Any questions about that?
If there are multiple tests, they take only one.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes. Yep. And we can actually, let's say, we do super score the SAT only, not the ACT, the SAT.
And
Yes.
you can take those tests as many times as you want. My recommendation, take them both, see which one you do better in, and continue to take that one. You'll see that your score, especially with just taking it the first time and like learning the timing of it, taking it the second or third time will usually jump up right away.
Okay, if you were the only submit one, you guys don't take a certain test only?
No, it's either or.
Is there additional scholarship potential if you take both?
No. We'll
Not
just take,
necessarily.
no. We'll just take, if you take both, we'll just take the highest scores that is going to give you the most amount of money. Mhm.
Anyone have any other questions about things that are on here? So the other sheet that is in your folder is like a teal color, kind of like this color. This has a little bit about financial aid on there. First thing that I want to point out kind of goes right along lines of what Marinelle was just talking about with test scores and GPA. And that is on this right-hand side here. All of our students that are accepted get anywhere from $4,000 to $14,000 a year for their academic scholarship, and that is just based off the work that you guys do in high school. So how many of you would love to be paid for the work that you're doing right now? Okay, awesome, good. So what we're gonna look at to kind of determine where you're at is first your GPA. So if any of you guys have taken like honors classes, AP classes, and have a weighted GPA, or dual enrollment, we will take that weighted GPA or whichever one is higher. So it's just to your benefit. As far as ACT and SAT scores are concerned, as Marianella said, we will take the highest one and we will use that as your score in determining your scholarship list. So one thing that I would recommend doing if you guys have taken your test or if you're still kind of in the process of doing that, is to go online on our scholarship calculator. You can plug in whatever numbers that you know, and it'll actually generate for you where you would be at. Or if you guys have time later on, want to stop back by and kind of get a better idea, sit down with one of us and ask us kind of what level you would sort of fall at or kind of be able to attain. We are more than happy to do that for you. And one thing to kind of keep in mind is that we actually will update any of your scores until July 1st of your senior year. That means that your entire senior year counts, and as many times as you want to take those tests to see how high you can get, as long as we have those scores by July 1st, you can do that. So it's really to your benefit of how high you think that you can score.
You can only go up, never up.
Yep, you'll only go up.
The admissions.
Oh, go
What
up.
are the admissions letters sent, transfer?
Yep, so kind of how that works, do you want to talk about this since that was part of the application process?
Okay, yes,
Oh,
once you
sorry.
submit.
No,
okay.
I
We
just
just
wondered
missed
if the admission letter comes, and you still take tests and scores
Yes.
go higher, and then those numbers
Yep.
change.
It can, well, after we review your application, you'll receive a letter within 2 weeks after the decision was made. And if you retake the SAT, we'll just get a transcript or something, an official documentation with those numbers, and we can update your scholarship if necessary.
So everyone catch that, you can start at, let's say you start at the achievement level, maybe you make your way to the faculty level, maybe into the deans. Each time that happens, we'll send you a letter, we'll update everything until that July 1st marker. And first, those of you guys that are seniors, we'll start reviewing applications also in September, and like Marinella said, it only takes us a couple weeks to get back to you once you have everything in. Okay? A couple other things just to point out that are on here as well. We do have like an idea of estimated cost on here. So for room and board as well as tuition, that's for this incoming freshman class. And then also one thing I want to kind of point out to you as well on this page that we're going through is that the FAFSA is something that we encourage all of our students to fill out. Everybody heard of that before? Okay, if not, make sure you ask us today. We will definitely get you set with understanding that a little bit better. But that actually opens up October 1st of your senior year. So that means that for those of you guys that are seniors, October is when you can start applying for that. And we typically try to have an idea of a financial aid award to you by the very beginning of January. So try to get a quick turnaround there for you. Lastly, just make sure that you guys continue to exhaust, scholarship options. There are a lot of ones in your communities, at your schools, here on campus. And, really what we want you to do also is ask us questions. Like Marinella said earlier, each of you guys will have an admissions counselor that works specifically with students in your area. And we are here to serve you, to help make this process a lot easier, and to be able to advocate for you as well. So just making sure that you guys keep in contact with us really is one of the biggest things that I can recommend to you, regardless of what schools you're looking at. You have people on the other end that are there to answer your questions, to connect you with people, and to make it really a lot less of a painless process. Awesome. Well, I know that we want to get you guys off to lunch here, but thank you so much for being here today. And we've enjoyed getting to know you a little bit more. And we do have different brochures and things up here, and we'll be kind of hanging out for a couple minutes if you guys have questions, but feel free to come back after lunch if there's anything else you need, okay?
Alright.
All right, thank you guys.
Have a good day.
Yes, you do.
Good rain.